What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Startup Yourself. Today's video is going to change your mind about one of the biggest decisions of life. People usually think that buying a house is probably one of the best decisions, and that there's nothing that can possibly go wrong with that. It might be one of the worst decisions of your life, though. How? But before we get into that, I'm going to ask you guys to smash that like button and subscribe. Also hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any updates. All right, let's get started. Did you guys know that according to a survey, almost 44% of people who buy a house regret their decision? Why? Well, by the end of the video, you guys will know why. We're going to tell you some shocking reasons that might change your views about buying a house. Stick to the end of the video if you don't want to make the wrong decision and get stuck in a financial loss. The first reason why you shouldn't buy a house is the volatility of the real estate market. How? Well, let me explain. You see, the price of property changes drastically, and the real estate market is extremely unreliable due to that very reason. How does that affect the matter of you buying a house? Think of it this way. What if you buy a house for a certain price that burns a big and decent hole in your pocket, and then a couple of years later, the real estate prices fluctuate? For example, you bought a house for, let's say, $200,000. And after about 5 years, the real estate prices fluctuate drastically and the house costs around $150,000. Now what? You ended up paying $50,000 extra. Hurts, doesn't it? Now imagine if you just rent a house. Yep, the real estate prices would still fluctuate, but it won't cost you as dearly as buying a whole house of your own. The second reason why you should rent instead of buying a house of your own is the costs, of course. Renting is overall 50% cheaper in the long run than buying a house. You can always upgrade or downgrade the house you rent, but upgrading and downgrading the house you own is a very hard task. You can save money by renting a house and use it in your business. Another advantage of renting a place is that you don't have to worry about maintenance. Just inform your landlord and that's all. Whereas when you're a house owner, you have to pay attention to every little detail, and the maintenance is also your headache. You have to look for the suitable guy for the job and pay for it as well. Reason number 3 why you should just rent a place instead of buying it is because owning a house just ties you down. You have to consider so many things if you want to move. Imagine if you have a house of your own in a city and you get promoted. Your new job is in a different city. Therefore, you have to move out of your current house. You're going to have to sell it before doing all of that, and you have to check the real estate market since selling your house at a decent price that's profitable to you is essential. Once you've decided at a profitable price, you have to wait for a customer. Once you've found the customer, you need to check the background of the customer before selling the house, because if you sell your house to someone without checking their background, that can have some serious consequences. What if he's a terrorist or a criminal? So yeah. All in all, moving out is a big issue when you own a house. On the other hand, if you live in a rented place, all you have to do before moving out is notify the landlord. Easy as that. Another reason why buying a house is a bad decision is property taxes. When you buy a house, you own the land. Property taxes are going to apply. The amount of tax that you're going to pay for your house is going to change as well. Usually, property taxes increase. So be prepared to write a juicy check to pay the tax if you plan to already own a house. And we all know how no one likes writing checks. Getting them is a different story though. Mortgage is another reason why buying houses isn't really the best decision. The income to debt ratio gets messed up when you look at the mortgage that's going to be with you for the next 25 to 30 years. The interest rates affect everything to a stupendous extent. Do you guys know about the great house market recession that started in 2007? Tell us what you know in the comment section. House buying isn't a thing for emotional people as well. They usually end up buying fancier and more expensive than necessary stuff for their houses, like ridiculously expensive tiles, kitchen appliances, decoration pieces, just to satisfy their need to live the American dream. Why would you spend extra money on some fancy looking designer tiles that cost twice the amount of usual and good enough tiles? People who rent houses, on the other hand, don't bother that much about this stuff. Alright guys, that's all we have for today's video. We hope you guys liked it. We'll be back soon with another video, so until then, take care.